The first candle is a power candle. Candles like these, those with large bodies, are power candles that show clear control by buyers or sellers. These power candles drive upward or downward movement.
All these large price candles you see on the chart right now do not necessarily indicate that one side is in total control. They simply provide a clear picture of where there was increased buying pressure and where there was higher selling activity.
This is a control shift candle. If we look at this gray candle, I'll just mark it so you can see, it shows a shift in control, which could be the first sign that the market might reverse. We see there was a push upward, a few strong candles, then a pullback, but buyers once again pushed the market up hard, bringing us back to this level and basically erasing the price movement that happened below it.
Fortunately, at this particular point in time, there weren't a significant number of potential buyers. There was only Let's talk about the big players. A big player is a professional institutional trader who has at least $100 million on their total account balance sheet. But what will happen to the price? Will it go down from this point or start to rise? At this moment, we can't know that.
I just want to show you where I post educational content. You can just come here and take a look. It's just a bunch of educational materials. I'm literally showing you free signals on my free Telegram channel. If you want to join the free Telegram, just click the link below.
Let's imagine I'm a beginner who just clicked on this video, and I want to get to the point of the video, specifically to see the strategy and learn something new. But in the end, right at the very beginning, I immediately see an ad, which is really disappointing.
So the foundation for a swing trader, I think for any trader in general, should start with a higher time frame, like the weekly or monthly chart. And what do? We just look at the big picture. We just zoom out. Obviously, that's a bit too far, but you want to see what's going on. I'd like to say that the maximum is, so if we're in 2018, let's call it 4 or 5 years. You just want to focus on 4 or 5 years of price action, which would look something like this.
Why exactly do we need to focus so closely on these specific years of price action if, well, the big institutional players primarily look at the long-term weekly and monthly time frames? For those massive players, that is a perfectly justified strategy because they are responsible for managing billions and billions of dollars, while someone like Alex Gonzalez is only managing just a few $1,000s in his account. Therefore, strictly analyzing the weekly or monthly time frame is simply the wrong strategy for him.
You just zoom out and focus only on what's important, right? You can draw a line down. Resistance, support resistance, and so on, right? Yeah.
No, that's not right. He's showing how to draw levels on the chart the wrong way. And where can all this lead? You'll find out very soon.
I see many YouTubers make market structure way more complicated than it needs to be, but it's actually pretty simple. A 1-year-old could understand it. So if a 5-year-old can get it, you can too.
Trading Geek explains to us that this strategy is incredibly straightforward and so simple that even an absolute beginner could use it and make millions.
Everything is fine. So right now, I'm just going to show you guys something like a blank chart so you can draw it yourself. Understand that market structure doesn't move in a straight line. It rises in waves, forming a pattern. It goes up, making highs and lows, then another high, another low, and another high. The lowest point.
Right now, what he's drawing doesn't actually work in the real market. Because if he really knew something about the market, then in his case, the market would move more like this, like with these incredibly strong waves and sudden drops. This is exactly how the real market actually moves in the world today. But the market never moves like that. It never moves as smoothly as they draw it for us. And now we're going to test a strategy that claims to give 83%.
So here are the 3 steps I want you to follow: direction, location, and execution. Let's break them down one by one. The first step is direction. The very first thing you need to do is determine the overall
My name is John Walker, and I'm giving away $100,000 on my Telegram channel, where every third participant can win $3,000. I'll also tell you about the trading strategy that changed my life and helped me earn over $30,000 a month. I left all the links in the comments below this video. Click here right now.
trend direction in the market. At this stage, you should ask yourself just one question: who is controlling the price, buyers or sellers? You need to identify the latest bullish or bearish structure breakout to mark the swing range. So right now we see the swing low because this is the lowest point after which a structure breakout occurred, and this is the swing high.
He says this is the absolute highest peak from which the price started to experience a significant pullback. But that's simply not accurate at all, and it's quite misleading, because right now there's a completely different candle that's actually even higher. And from that point, we can already see a very strong pullback. So his claim that this is the highest point is incorrect. For
The past 8 years that I've been trading full time, I've tried out a lot of different strategies. And it took me 3 years to develop a process that actually brought in consistent profits.
so far, everything sounds a little too perfect, almost like a fairy tale.
Here we can see that the market was undervalued and the price kept falling. We can't use this on its own, but we can use it in combination with other things to start with a solid foundation. And it becomes strong enough to break through this resistance, then move higher. And this tells the market that there wasn't enough demand to break through that level.
That's what Craig is talking about right now. However, that's not entirely true, because right now we see a trend line. He strongly suggests that this specific entry point would be absolutely ideal for opening a new long position. A market that is currently trending downward can often make a move exactly like this one, and then just keep on going even lower. So we have a clear trend line here, and we have a breakout of that trend line. But at the very same time, as soon as the price chart approaches the line again, we see that the price can actually start falling even further down. Have you ever experienced this?
Have you ever wondered why some traders consistently make money while others don't? The difference between them is in how they use trend lines or how they draw them. Now we have 1 more, 2, 3 points for the upward trend line. Just like last time when we drew on the monthly chart, but now we're on the weekly chart.
The specific trend line that Tory Trades drew on the weekly time frame. My name is John Walker, and I'm giving away $100,000 on my Telegram channel, where every third participant can win $3,000. I'll also tell you about the trading strategy that changed my life and helped me earn over $30,000 a month. I left all the links in the comments below this video. Click here right now. Frame chart is actually not correct. The question arises, where is the true trend line? The actual long-term trend line is located right here on the chart. And the most interesting thing is that this isn't just any trend line, it's a critical level of support.
There are no other trend lines that could be drawn, so you just keep moving down through the time frames. Alright, we're on the daily chart, let's switch to the 4-hour chart. As for our upward trend lines, they can't get any steeper. These are cases where there are no changes or differences. We can't draw an additional trend line from the daily to the 4-hour chart. But I see that now. Finally, we can draw our first downward trend line. We have upward trend lines, but now I need to find downward trend lines. And
once again, Tory Trader makes her favorite mistake. So we look at the chart and see how she draws the trend line wherever it's convenient for her. Tory Trader could have drawn her line here, and even here. But she decided to draw the trend line where it benefits her, and that's at this point. But the scariest part is that right now, we don't know. Will the price go down or will it go up? That's why this line is drawn incorrectly here. First, we'll go over a strategy that no one teaches except Casper.
I have a 3-step formula that I've tested thousands of times. And every month when I tested it, it brought in profits in the long run. By the end of this video, you'll also learn this strategy and be able to make the same kind of profitable trades as this one.
That's a pretty bold statement. But will Casper deliver on his promise in this video?
On the NASDAQ chart, this was last week on the 21st. As you can see, we've marked the high and low of the first 5-minute candle. Now we're going to come up here and click the button, 1 minute, to switch to the 1-minute chart. Remember, we need a certain behavior to enter a trade. One of my favorite things about this strategy is how quickly it hits its targets. If we look here, the target was reached in just 9 minutes.
Casper, you know, it would have been absolutely wonderful if this trade had actually been real. Because so far, you're trading on a market simulator. And that's just a demo account.
Which reveal the positions of big players and help us understand their true intentions. And guys, this is the most important part of the strategy, the thing that separates successful traders from the unsuccessful ones. Now, notice that there's empty space between these two candles because the move was really strong. I mean, between the wick of this candle and the wick of this candle, there's empty space because this candle moved so strongly and with such momentum that it left a gap. And that's what we call a fair value gap, or FVG for short. And this fair value gap is the foundation of our strategy.
A fair value looks like this. Also, a fair value gap looks like this. A gap, fair value, that spot is empty space. He could have drawn a gap here and said, this is a gap. He could have drawn it here and said, this is a gap. And you probably would have believed that nonsense. Some people know how to attract an audience, but why do they attract an audience? Very soon, you'll find out.
Just posted a video on YouTube where I talk about a Forex market strategy that made me my first $100,000 in a month back in 2021. This was the only pair I traded consistently for almost 2.5 years. This was the pair little TJ used, or when he was just starting out trading and achieving his first successes, but
Here's the real truth. In 2021, TGR was begging on forums for basic trading signals. He was asking for entry points and levels. Take profit. But he only posted that screenshot showing a $100,000 profit much later, 5 whole months after the fact. So, to pull off his scam, TGR started actively offering people to invest literally any amount.
And I'll give you the account, the number, and the investor's passport. That's why at the end of 2021, TGR convinced his close friends from his university to contribute their savings to his trading account. He confidently promised them guaranteed profits of over $10,000. And the most interesting part is that he even guaranteed all of it. However, the self-proclaimed trading genius suffered a crushing defeat, and all the money his friends invested seemed to be lost. On top of that, instead of apologizing, TGR decided to dodge returning the money. And all the college friends and classmates who invested in this project were unable to get any of their money back, except for one single individual. That exception was the guy named Frank. And again, we move on to the next trading day, the 30th, and simply mark the high and the low.
Yeah, it really is that simple. Then we switch to the 1-minute chart and wait patiently. Don't do anything until the market reaches our level. Now, if you noticed, there was no fair value gap here. So in this example, you need to wait and see if we test the range again with a risk-to-reward ratio at 2-to-1. This means our risk is $275 and the 2-to-1 target is $540. If we win, this trade makes a profit in less than 5 minutes. It actually made a profit in just 3 minutes.
The first thing I notice, I see that Casper's trading on the 1-minute time frame. For those who don't know, the 1-minute time frame is just noise. You can't make money on that. Casper knows this perfectly well, but then why is he misleading people, showing only supposedly successful trades and his strategy, which, as we can see, works? But this particular trading strategy is simply not going to be effective in the real market. Yeah, what a great city. Trader Casper is showing fake trading, not real trading. As you can see, it says replay here. This means he's trading on a market simulator. It was on a market simulator. Casper already knows exactly where the market price is going to go next, so he can draw any lines he wants on the chart and claim that someone behind the scenes is in control. But there is absolutely no hidden magic in the market here.
As you can see, over the past few weeks, you've made $5,600 trading a single contract on the NASDAQ exchange.
Right now, we're looking at the statistics. Demo trading plus $5,685. And this has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with real trading, because simply executing 5 individual trades while knowing exactly where the chart will move by utilizing a sophisticated market simulator, you can easily make your performance statistics look 100% perfect if you really want to, and show off a supposedly profitable strategy. In this video, Casper completely misled us. So why is he doing all this? In every one of Casper's videos, there's an invitation to join his mentorship program. In this mentorship program, it'll cost you $1,500. But what can you really learn from someone who doesn't trade with a real account, but only on a demo account and shows demo trades using the market simulator, and only predicts price movement on a market simulator? After training like that, your balance will always get wiped out, and you'll end up in the red. All of Casper's videos are made just to grab attention and sell his mentorship program.